back to my channel. I'm Alexa and today's video will be about Oshogatsu, the Japanese New Year period. Oshogatsu is a really important period during the year for Japanese, and Oshogatsu is from 31st of December to 3rd of January. It's the most important period for Japanese because they get the chance to stay home since they are workaholics. They finally can stay home with their families, visit their relatives, get some extra money, also eat and watch TV. It's pure and deserved laziness. Still, during this short amount of time where they are home, there are some traditions that are very important for the Oshogatsu. The first one is the osoji, the deep cleaning tradition. And I'm not kidding. There's no better way to start a new year than having a house extremely well cleaned. It might be the equivalent of the big spring cleaning for us, but they do it in December. The origin of this tradition started back in the Edo period. At that time, houses used to have a fire stove, so they get dirty at the end of the year, and it was a really good way to start the new year by cleaning the house. Edo Casta was the first to start this tradition as a purification ritual in preparation of the greeting of the New Year's god, Toshigami-sama. Toshigami-sama is the god of the new year and it's supposed to go visit each single family and household. So this was a way for the castle to greet at the best this god. Now, after the cleaning of the houses, there are some important objects that are really important for the Oshogatsu, for the New Year's beginning and the last year's end. First of all, shimekazari. Shimekazari is a decoration that you will see on each single door or business shop because it brings good luck for the new year. We can see that this decoration is really similar to the ring tree door decoration that we use for Christmas. This decoration is supposed to attract and welcome the gods and bring good fortune to the household or the business. And also, it kicks away the evil spirit in the house. There are two details we need to focus on for this decoration. The first one is the pine leaf that symbolize the longevity, and the second one is the bitter orange or the mikan on top of the decoration that symbolize posterity. The second important decoration for the new year is kadomatsu. Kadomatsu is actually this decoration with the 3 bamboos with different dimensions and lengths, and the pine or plum leaf. It is actually said that this kadomatsu calls temporary the Shinto gods to the underworld to bless the humans. So it's a really useful decoration. You can actually find these at the entrance of each single house and shops, and also hotels. They have really big ones. Japanese actually place the kadomatsu from December 10th, and during the Edo period it was tradition for them to burn the kadomatsu on January 15th. Now it's January 7th. It's a bit like the Daruma doll. The Daruma doll is supposed to bring luck for 1 year, and once you achieve your goal, you have to bring it back to the temple and burn it. So it was the same with kadomatsu. The third important decoration for the New Year's is Kagami Mochi. Kagami Mochi is an ornament and later to be a food, a delicious dessert to eat. Kagami Mochi is actually made by 2 mochi and a tangerine on the top called daidai. And it is an ornament that we find inside the households, and it can be eaten only later, only in January. It can be the 11th January or the 2nd Saturday or Sunday of January for a Shinto ritual called Kagami Biraki. Kagami Mochi is meant to be offered to the gods. This is why it stays as an ornament. The 2 mochi actually represents the yin and the yang, the moon and the sun, the year that has gone and the year that is coming. So it's really important to respect this tradition. You can find Kagami Mochi everywhere, literally everywhere. You can buy a bigger one or a smaller one. You can find it also at the Hyakuen shop. Because this Kagami Mochi is used and really important for a ritual, you have to place it on a special cloth and then on a special wooden support, sanpō. It is also really important for families to place the Kagami Mochi on the kamidana, the family altar, those altars that you can find in each household and is dedicated to the dead people, the dead family members. And it's so delicious. Don't worry for the mochi, it's actually hygienic to eat them because they aren't left by themselves. They are inside a plastic container, so you have to break it in order to eat them. So don't worry, just leave it as it is. It's also popular to eat a red bean soup with the mochi inside, and usually are grilled mochi that are really yummy. Or you can put the Kagami Mochi inside a soup and eat it. It's a delicious dessert. Now let's talk about food. It is tradition for the Japanese to go visit their relatives and families and spend time in families during the Oshogatsu. For that purpose, they don't really have a traditional dish that they eat. They have the osechi. Osechi is this bento box that is really big and really expensive, and they eat all together. The osechi is typical a traditional bento box with 3 layers. More expensive one can also have 5 or more. However, it is really important to notice that each single layer have different colors with different meanings. Compared to us, that we always eat and have tons of traditional dishes that we make for the New Year's and Christmas, Japanese have really small portions in the osechi. When I saw it for the first time, I was shocked. The portions are really small, but you can understand how many people is meant for by counting the shrimps on the upper layer of the osechi. Or however they are called, I don't really eat them. The Japanese families will gather together and eat the osechi at the table because it's a ritual as well. The ritual of the osechi has a deep meaning. You will eat the osechi together not only with your family, but also with the God that protects that household. Japanese believe that there's a God that protects each single house. So the osechi for the new year is something really good to do. It's the occasion for a family to thank the God that protected that household for a whole year and to pray that he will do the same the next one. Of course, there are different meanings for the different foods and colors in the osechi, and I want to make a video about that and about bento. So stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to wait for that video because it's gonna be really interesting. Keep in mind that if you want to have an osechi in Japan for the Oshogatsu, you need to book it in advance. There is a catalog in each single shop, so don't worry, you can have personalized one. And also cheaper or more expensive, based on your needs. Fun fact, the osechi expiring date is after 1 year. And the reason why is because Japanese that are abroad and cannot go back to Japan for the Oshogatsu can get still the chance whenever they come back to eat an osechi. Other 2 really important traditions for the Oshogatsu are otoshidama and nengaji. Otoshidama is actually the money, the New Year's money for kids. Well, not all kids, of course, but the family's kids. When the family goes to visit the relatives will give the kids money in an envelope, a really cute and particular one, called pochibukuro. Pochibukuro is actually a really cute envelope. Sometimes it can be handmade, other times it has a particular motif on it, like the ear's zodiac sign or Daruma or whatever, and contains money for the kid. The kid can spend the money as he wants, it's his or her personal money, or if it's a really big amount, the family can save it up for later in the future. However, in the folklore, the money gave to the children was at the same time an offer for Toshigami. In this way, Toshigami will become the protector of these children that receive the money from their families. Originally, there was Onenshi. Onenshi was this tradition where families will visit their relatives by bringing gifts for the new year. And this tradition as well had started during the Edo period, when wealthy families and businesses will give bags full of mandarins and mochi to other families and friends and servants to bring joy and spread happiness for the beginning of this new year. This is where Kagami Mochi and also Onenshi, Otoshidama, started. Pretty fun, right? Well, since the families will visit their relatives during this short period of time, for the friends there is Nengajo. Nengajo is the New Year's greeting postcard. This postcard actually shows your appreciation to your dears, your friends or your colleagues. But still, there are some particularities about this tradition. First of all, the Nengajo is totally different from a normal postcard because it's sent only during the Oshogatsu. There are tons of shops that sell in December Nengajo. Even the Japan Post Office offers a website dedicated to personalized Nengajo. Whether you buy it or not in a post office or a convenience or another shop, the price is a bit higher than a normal postcard. The Nengajo already includes the postage, so you don't have to pay or buy another extra stamp. If you want to send a Nengajo, remember that the post office accepts the Nengajo from December 15th. And don't worry, they will all be delivered on January 1st. It doesn't actually matter when you send the Nengajo because they will all be delivered on January 1st. The post office will make sure that they arrive on time in each single city you want to send them. To make sure that each single family will receive their Nengajo on January 1st, the post office will hire extra part-time workers. There is just one single strict rule, and it is when to not send a Nengajo. If you want to send to a friend, but that friend has a loss in the family the previous year, for 1 year he cannot receive a Nengajo because it's a bad moment and the family suffered the loss, so it's not a good thing to send them a Nengajo. So just wait 1 year. Now, you might have seen my previous video, right? It was about enka songs, a particular type of music really popular among the elders in Japan. You can hear this particular type of music on TV for the Oshogatsu. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, people that are finally able to stay home spend their days lazing around in front of the television. The Oshogatsu is the perfect time for Japanese that work really hard for all year to relax at home, just lazing around. And for this occasion, on TV there are tons and tons of variety shows. During those days, there are also enka concerts and you can hear enka songs, especially those which are my favorites, so go check it out and let me know what do you think about them. And I must add that I sing them at karaoke and I'm also great at it. The last tradition I want to mention during this video is Hatsumode. Hatsumode is actually the first visit the Japanese pay at the shrines or temples for the first of the year. You can go on January 1st, 2nd or 3rd, and that's gonna be the first pray for the year. However, about Hatsumode we will talk in another video because I want to make sure you have my recommendation about the shrines. So Happy New Year to all of you. See you next year. Thank you for watching. 明けましておめでとうございます。